Welcome to the Stacy A Cross Show. I am Stacy A Cross. There's no E in my name. Every Friday at 8 a.m., I'll be coming through. We're talking health, we're talking wealth, and we're talking happiness. I'm a believer of freedom, personal growth, and your journey to success. So go ahead and share, subscribe, listen to this show because it's going to be an amazing one. As always, you can find me at www.thecomfortkillers.com. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go. To be or not to be vulnerable. And today we're talking about trust-based everything, building relationships, creating lifelong, lasting relationships, creating the value of those relationships, sometimes the ROIs of those said relationships will make you a millionaire. And I believe that you got to cultivate relationships, and we're going to talk about trust today. Today I have with me a book that I'm going to put in the show notes. In this book, you could get exactly what I know. But also, as a human, you know about trust. You know that the more you fail at integrity, the more that you lie, the more that you're not truthful in your dealings, the less people will F with you, right? They'll catch on and they'll F with you. Well, here's something that you got to know too, even on a deeper level, is that your subconscious and my subconscious, when you meet me, we're already greeting each other and we already know. Like our subconscious, they send the vibrations to each other like, man, I don't trust this guy. Have you ever talked with someone and you're like, man, I don't know what it is about him, but I just can't quite finger it. Don't finger it. But I just can't quite finger it. I don't think I trust this cat. I think he's kind of sleazy. There's somebody that I met in beautiful Miami, and the motives of this character was only to get to know me, leech on me, and leech on what I'm building and what I'm creating to get to meet someone else. And I figured it out very early on when you're talking about things that are undone. Everything's so big. It's so crazy. You're working on all these things. But you got to dissect this. The feeling, the intuition, that comes from the intuition and subconscious, already knowing yourself, right? Already know. And you're feeling this type of way about someone. Most of the time, probably 99.9% of the time, you're right. But what we do, we put logic into it. We put reason into it. Oh man, we can't be like this. We can't really shut somebody out like that. We didn't even get to know them. You know what I mean? So you put effort into finding out what you already know, right? Finding out what you already know. Ladies and gentlemen, Comfort Killers, I am Stacy A Cross, and there is no E to my name. And today we're talking about trust-based everything. How to build trust, how to build relationships. And I have a couple books with me today to supplement this podcast episode. And woo, it's a great day here in Philly. Hopefully it's a great day where you are. Whenever you are listening, it is always the perfect time. So we're talking about trusting, the ultimate guide to creating trust. Do you know that it's an untrusting world right now? Do you know that every corner that you look, people are looking for reasons to not trust you? So whether you're building your brand, your personal brand, whether you're building your company and brand, whether you're building just your character, whether you're building your career, whether you're building your money, I'm talking about there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that you meet on a daily basis that's like asking the question, why should I trust this person? All right. And that's just the way the world is set up. You got politicians that you can't trust, right? And these are the people that we elect. All right. So you're looking at it like, man, if it's like that in the government, if it's like this over here, if it's like the police over here, how could I trust my neighbor? Okay. I'm looking for reasons to not trust people. Okay. You walk up to somebody, I don't trust that guy. What is that? Who is that talking? So this will help you if you're, you just want to build more beautiful relationships. And then also this will help you if you're building trust in your business. So there's two ways, and we're going to talk about, there's way more than two ways, but we're going to talk about 3 ways today that you could definitely build substantial trust. Now, what does trust look like? How do you know you have any type of trust? Well, what is the definition of trust? Do you know the definition of trust? Well, let's go ahead and give you that definition right now. Pulled out the Merriam-Webster here. We got trust is to place confidence, to be confident. That's awesome, right? To be confident, to believe, right? Believe, these are words in doing something. To permit to stay or go or to do something without fear or misgiving. So when someone gives you their trust. Another one is assured reliance on the character, strength, or truth of someone or something. I think that's the best definition right there. Assured reliance on the character, strength, or truth of someone or something. A basis of reliance, faith, or hope, confident hope. Okay? So when we talk about that, we're talking about confidence. These are the words that are coming up. Confidence in character, in strength, or truth. Some people be like, hey, this is the truth, man. This is the truth. I'm telling you, this is true story. And then they go on and say the thing, and you're like, get out of here, okay? Because you don't even believe their truth, okay? What they think of their truth, because you don't trust them. You don't trust their character. It's very important to develop this, and you got to try at trust. You can't just be like, okay, I'm out here, because the world is unforgiving, right? Okay? There's a million reasons why someone don't want to trust you. And it could be literally, you don't have to open your mouth. They don't trust you because what you're wearing. Literally, your appearance. They don't trust it. Okay, they don't trust they don't trust you because you pulled up in a 2008 whatever. Okay, this is a low-level based trust. They don't trust it. Used car salesmen. Why don't we trust used car salesmen? It's the stigma placed upon used car salesmen. You probably didn't deal with a used car salesman, but you already have this belief about a used car salesman that you are going to go in there, they're going to dupe you, they're going to try to get you to pay overpriced, the car's not right, they're just out there to blood suck your wallet dry of its money, okay? It's contents. That's what the word I was trying to come up. Hey, guys, just so before I get into this, it's going to be a fire episode. When I say fire, it's fast, okay? Surefire episode. I'm Stacy A. Cross. There's no E in my name. You can leave me on all my socials at Stacy A. Cross. Thank you for listening to the Stacy A. Cross Show. I drop weekly here. And you can pick up all of these things at thecomfortkillers.com. Before I get into it, thecomfortkillers.com, you could get my 5 videos. It's 5 techniques how to get outside your comfort zone. Why is getting outside of your comfort zone important? You growth there. This whole thing about trust, there's growth in that if you develop it. There's something that you could develop. Everything and anything you could develop. I was talking to a gentleman yesterday. I went to a meeting and up in about 4 towns over. In traffic, went to the meeting, and man, it's a big fella. This guy's like 6 foot. He's a huge guy, big bear, but he's a nice guy. And we have something that we want to work out. I met him. He has a good deal going on right now with something, and this is all about real estate, building my company, building my real estate company. And he was telling me some things, and I really like his approach. I really like his style. And I'm saying, okay, maybe we could partner together and help each other out. Okay. And he doesn't know me from anything, right? He doesn't know me from anything. I don't know him from anything. Why did I trust him? Why did I trust him? Because he, he's a big dude and kind of like very soft spoken. Or how did we trust each other to say, hey, let's do this thing? Well, first thing is somebody introduced me to him. Okay, somebody introduced me to him and said, hey, Stace, I want you to meet a guy. He's been, told me his whole bio, told me his thing. Now, I've got a preconceived notion of who this person is. So what are people saying about you? Are they saying, hey, listen, I know this guy, but, be careful with him. Or I know this girl, but, be careful with her. She's, one too many stories, of failure, one too many stories of untrustworthiness, one too many stories of trying to get over on someone, and you're done. Rapport, character is what you really develop here. Rapport and characteristics, these beautiful characteristics that have affinity. We're going to talk about affinity in a minute. There was a gentleman even before my business days. This is when I was, in the street days, doing hip hop days, smoking my little weed days. These are back then. And there was this guy, and I wanted some weed. I wanted some weed, man. Okay. And this guy, we actually call him Lying Larry. We put lying in front of the name, Lying Larry. And he did some backwards stuff, and we ended up paying. The thing wasn't there, and I was like, man, we got duped out. But he always does things like this. Like, you gotta really, and when I introduce him to anyone, it's always, yo, Lying Larry, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't mess with that guy. You see what I'm saying? And that was just way back when, you're talking about characteristics. You don't care about your character back then. You don't care about what people perceive of you. You're just trying to get over on people, okay? Your goal is just to win at no cost of the cost of someone else, the benefit of someone else, the leverage of some. You're just trying to step on people's heads, okay? So, but now when we're growing into business and when we're getting to, we're getting at the point where you're building healthy characteristics, healthy strength, healthy confidence, you have to do something to work on your trust-based flow. And this is trust-based in marketing. This is trust-based in business. This is trust-based in just character, in your career, in all aspects of trust-based. You got to be trustworthy, because I'll tell you what, businesses are built on trust. I'm reading a book, and I'm sure you don't know this guy, but you should know this guy. He's deceased now, rest in peace. His name is Trammel Crow. Trammel Crow was the master builder. He's actually built more foundation, developed more, and his network is like so deep. Started out in Texas. I want to say Dallas. Started out in Dallas. Had no idea. He was 33 years old, right? 33 years old. So he started a little later, right? Started a little later in life in Texas. He's actually bigger than Donald Trump. Okay, he's actually has way more invested in real estate development, buildings, plazas, warehouses, office space, apartment buildings, whole districts. Trammel Crow's name is on it, and I bet you don't know about him, okay? So I'm reading, and this guy's character is just off of a verbal confirmation or a verbal agreement. Now, I wrote something down because I'm reading the book, and I was very taken away by it. And let me just give you some points that he said. And I wrote it down because it's some points that I want to personally work on. And it's constant improvement. How do you work on this thing? And you can work on trust. Let me go grab the book right here, and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. All right, let me just give you some of the things that I've learned from my boy. And that's how I read books. You know how I read books, right? You know that I actually dive into it and create all these pointers. And in the pointers, I grow myself, okay? So, I think I put it back here. It's like a code of ethics for me. What's working, what works, okay? Good old-fashioned trust works, okay? So, he says here, Trammel Crow, person-to-person approach, honor and trust mutually. Trust begets trust. Trust begets trust with certainty and confidence as the result. Okay, so assessing character, trusting instinct, have an instinct of trust, find something good in the person and allow them to live up to that expectation and vice versa. So initially, you move on a person, you move on this new thing, how do you trust it? Hey, initially go there trusting, saying, hey, listen, I trust myself, I trust people, my instinct is to trust. Now, I'm going to find one thing, one characteristic, one thing when I assess this individual. And if they live up to that one thing, because they're going to talk about that one thing, you don't even have to dig deep. They are going to talk about the one thing. Oh, Stace, I could go get that. Okay, they messed up on that. You no longer have to deal with that. Trust and appreciation is good in business. In fact, it's the only way you're going to grow your business. Okay, you have to have that confidence that knows that you have to build up this ethics, this knowingness about you, that trust begets trust. And if you live by that, you will cultivate better relationships. Have you read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People? Okay? It's not about you. One thing that you will read in that book, Dale Carnegie, is it's not about you. It's about that person. That's how you build trust. It's not about you. So let's go with 9, or let's see how many characteristics where trust actually comes from. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 ways, 10 things, 10 hows. Where does trust come from? What kind of sources can you derive trust from? Well, the first is authority, right? You could derive trust from authority, right? A police officer. You know, you see a police officer come, your instinct is to trust that police officer. Okay, maybe this police officer is the most corrupt guy out there, but you don't think automatically that police officer is going to do dirty to you. Automatically, you're going to trust that police officer. If you get in a car accident, you call the police officer, you're like, yes, there's a sign of relief. Here's the police officer. I trust him. I trust her. A fireman. When the firemen pull up, you trust that they know what they're doing. You trust that they're there to save you. You trust that they're putting your life before theirs. You trust that they're going to handle the situation, right? A doctor, you go to your doctor, a lawyer, you automatically, instinctively trust authority. Okay? So when you're thinking of it in your business aspect, in who you are aspect, what does the doctor, lawyer, accountant, police officer, fireman, what do they have in common? Okay? They have this confidence that they know what they're doing. Because guess what? You can walk in a doctor's office, you don't see any certificate, you don't see any diplomas on the wall, but you still trust them. It could be a dingy old place. If that man or that woman has doctor in front of their name, all of a sudden you're taking advice and you're listening and all ears are open and you are suggestible to what they say you got to do, right? Regardless of you saying, hey, where's your diploma? What school did you graduate from? How long were you in doctor school? In your residency? How long were you doing it? You don't care because you instinctively trust them. That's trust begets trust. Here's another, source where it comes from. Affinity. How do you have affinity for someone? Hey, you can have affinity in fraternity, organizations. Hey, this person is in this organization. I'm in the same organization. There must be an affinity there. I trust this person. Shared background. You're a Jamaican. I'm a Jamaican. Okay? Experience. You worked here for this many years. I worked here for this many years. We have something in common. There's an affinity there. So we have this instinctual trust. The next one is credibility, okay? So you could pull trust from credibility. One thing that gives you credibility is the factual basis, right? There's some facts there, some credit behind it. Hey, Stacy wrote a book. You wrote a book. Okay, you got some credibility around you, okay? So that's a place where you could pull trust from. What about longevity? Years that you've been doing this. Don't you see that when there's a older person that comes up and they say, hey, listen, let me give you some advice. You're more keen to listen. Why? Because they're an older individual. They've been through shit. They've been through 40 more plus years. They have on you that they've seen some things. The grandmas and the grandpas of the world, or just older than you in relativity, you're like, oh, let me take this advice in. You instinctually trust them. Celebrity, right? Being known or being known for something. Just very recently, the Nike ad had Kaepernick on it, and Kaepernick had the quote was on it, right? And what is he known for? He's known for kneeling during what? During the national anthem, you're kneeling. He stood for something. He said, okay, I don't agree with this. The police brutality is going on. This is what I'm standing for. He built a celebrity around being known for doing something, or being known for something, or just being known. So a lot of people could use that celebrity trust and build trust instinctively without even knowing the characteristics behind them. Frequency. Here's another one. The more often heard and seen, the more easily trusted. You didn't know that one? I'm telling you right now. The more often heard and seen, the more easily trusted. Think about that. What about second party transferal? Okay. You trust this person, and this is what happened when I told you I met the person yesterday, and we're partnering and doing something and building another company of mine. We're partnering, and it's somebody endorsed them. Somebody allowed that person to rent their trust for a certain amount of time for that meeting to take place. Engineered. So second party transfer is earned trust, is engineered trust, is borrowed, rented trust. And that's why you see a lot of, people in business now, right? They get endorsed. Oh, well, I got a testimony from this person here. Okay? That testimony from that person, if you trust that person, you automatically trust me. That's what that means here. Place, geographic or target being for certain, this is business, being for a certain customer. Okay, so if you're connecting in Atlanta, you're in Atlanta, the customers are in Atlanta, or maybe you're known for being in Atlanta, it builds some kind of trust there. You have that affinity there. Demonstration, seeing is believing. Now, a lot of people, when they start, they're going to be on that demonstration part. And what Trammel Crow was saying is here, let's assess the character. Let him or her demonstrate that they're not trustworthy. But if they are, I believe they are, because instinctually I'm going with that notion. I'm going with them on this because trust begets trust. And I believe that trust and appreciation is good in business. So guess what? I'm going to have them demonstrate to me to build the trust. And it is an advantage. Your word is everything. And once someone believes you and trusts you and is confident in you, then you really could cultivate and garner and mix that relationship and make it worthwhile. So it's so worthwhile to invest in securing trust. It's something that we need to work on. What are some things that you could work on? And this is going to be pretty much to help you as an individual and as a business. And I want to just go through a couple different things on what you could do. And I said that I was going to do that for you today. And we're going to get into it right now. So the 9 gates to commitment: authenticity, believability, credibility, feasibility of relationship, customized solutions, safety, comfort, superiority, value. And I did an Instagram little video yesterday where I talked about value, because everyone's talking about value. And everyone is saying, hey, listen, what is valuable? How to become a valuable player in the game. So I want to tell you these 3 things here, and then we are going to help you get your way to be more trustworthy in business and in life. I'll be back. All right, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Stacy A Cross Show. I am Stacy A Cross. There's no E in my name. We're going to give you 3 things right now that you could level up and build up in your character, in your life and business. Use it any way you want to. It's great tools. It's a personal development tool for you to build this trust up because, man. All right, so the first thing you got to do is realize that it's not about you, okay? It's not about you, it's not what you want. It's clearly about giving value for the other person. So finding out what they want, what's their desires, how can you help them? How could you see their success? It's been quoted to say that if you could solve problems, like literally, if you could solve 7 billion problems, then you're gonna be wealthy. You don't have to worry about the money. If you could solve that many problems for people, then you're a wealthy person. Okay, so think of it in that aspect. Like, what problem can I go out there and solve for someone? My uncle, who I haven't spoken to in literally, man, I haven't seen him since it was my brother's birthday. So I seen him in May. I didn't speak to him like a year before that. I didn't even know the number that was calling me. Since I'm getting all these calls from, building my real estate business and comfort killers and all of that, I have to answer all these calls now. I can't just shout, send them the voicemail. And so I answered. It's like, oh man, Uncle Brian, what's up? What do you want? What's going on? I haven't spoken to you. I understand that people only call you because they want something. But check this out. But even before that, though, let's look at the pipeline and the timeline of this. Before that, yesterday, I put a video out on Instagram, and we're talking about value and over-delivering and always, doing more than what people expect. That's how you provide value in the world. And you may look at it as, oh, it's low key over here. I'm talking about giving value to the person that you held the door for. That's giving them value, man. You know how this world is right now. It's crazy where you could step your game up and up your level of being a valuable player in the game because you're doing more than what's expected. And honestly, right now, you don't have to do too much because there's low expectancy everywhere, So my uncle calls me and he is saying, "Hey, listen, Stacy, I want to go for this. I want to go for this gig. Okay, it's a level up, 2 levels up in my job, and I want it, but hey, I don't know. I need help. I need help with the resume, Stacy." Now, mind you, again, we haven't spoken for a long time. And initially, man, there was a couple things going through my head. Damn, it's all, I gotta go to jail. I'm thinking about all the things I got to do. And then I pulled myself back and I said, okay, we're building this trust. How do we do it? We talk about value, we're talking about giving back, we're talking about, and it's always the people you least expect. And the universe puts these people in your place like, I'm going to test you now because you said what you said on Instagram yesterday. Here comes Uncle B. Uncle B's going to come. He's going to ask you to do something, and let's see if you're going to provide that value. Now, is you or is you ain't going to do it? I is. Okay? So that's how you get tested while you build these values up. You don't have to worry about, oh man, I'm going to go out there and I got to go call. No, I'm telling you, it's going to come to you because that's just how the universe works. This is the test that we have to go through ourselves. Now, for even understanding that and knowing what I have to do, when you make a commitment, follow through on it. That's going to be very important in this whole thing. Follow through on these commitments. So, what I say, what does that person want? Can you help that person succeed? Can you do more to help that person and stop thinking about your goddamn self? Because if you're trying to get honey, baby, don't kick over the beehive. That's from Dale Carnegie. Just don't do it. So that's what I was saying when I'm saying find the desires, help people, know what's going on with them, legit want to help them and not expect anything. That's how you build trust. Now, let me tell you something. You do that and you don't expect anything. You don't want anything in return. You're not expecting it. You're doing it from the love of your heart, from releasing value because you're working on yourself and you're working on you. You're working on this thing and you're working on building up enough trust. You put that shit in the trust bank. Your trust bank is huge. Because you said what you're going to do, you're over-delivering on what you're going to do, you're expecting nothing in return, and that's when everything happens in return. So that is number one is what you got to do. Now, here's another technique if you want to build trust is, okay, so number one is, what is that? Provide value for people. Find out what they want, over-deliver on what they want. Another thing is stop shoving shit down their throat. Stop shoving things down here. And I see it a lot in businesses. I see it a lot in people's businesses. As soon as you hit the webinar, you get upsold in the first minute. As soon as you go on their website, it's real. Like, what value are you giving me? So I know it ties in to the first one that we spoke about. But let's talk about a little bit with demonstration. And demonstration is seeing and believing. You're seeing it first and then you're believing because that's how people are. They see things and then they believe it because they saw it. So you could demonstrate your trust by putting your story out there, putting out your ethics, putting your characteristics, putting who you are, putting what you're trying to do, putting your failures. So that vulnerability piece that I spoke about, the first word in this podcast to open it was, it's true. Be a little vulnerable. Man, everybody out here is making mistakes. Everyone out here is learning some new thing. Everybody out here is human. We're humans. So we're going to go and make mistakes. And you know what? That's trusting. Because, hey, listen, I don't have all the answers. But I know I can help you with this thing. People want to see a little bit of the human aspect with you. You can't be this gigantagore, all-knowing. You know what I mean? You've made some mistakes. It's okay to be a little vulnerable at times. There's a couple of times that, man, I try to lose some weight. I just stepped on a scale the other, man, I scared myself. And I was like, man, where's all this weight coming from? I'm pretty active. I'm holding on to weight. So I'm like, okay, there's other things that I got to do. And I have no shame in putting that out. Stacy will tell you something about your trust, but Stacy needs a little help with the weight. Okay, that's fine. It's definitely fine. And so that's number 2. Don't shove this all-knowingness down the throat of people. Like, you're not gonna win anything going that way. Okay? And we want you to win, and win with who matters. Here's the 9 gates to customer commitment. In case you're running a business right now, here's 9 gates to help you. Authenticity is asking the question, is this guy for real? That's the question that builds the authenticity. Number 2, for believability, it's, is he telling me the truth? That's what the customers is asking themselves. That's what people are asking themselves. Is he telling me the truth? Some people that are just pure liars, lying Larry. Okay, and credibility is he knowledgeable and competent? Okay, feasibility of relationship, is he appropriate for me? That's what they're asking before customer commitment. Customized solutions, is he listening or just peddling? See what I'm saying? Is he listening or just peddling? Safety, overall, can he be relied on? People want a reliable source. They want to know that they can rely on you. The comfort piece, number 7, is, do I understand enough about what he's going to do for me? You gotta get people comfortable, okay? You answer that question and you're good. Superiority is, am I making the best choice versus other choices? All right? There's other people doing other things. That's why, if you're in business, you got to be in a business of one category of one. And we'll save that for another episode. And value is, am I paying a fair price? They want to know that. So that's why you got to over deliver. So that is number 1. And number 2, let's get in with number 3. And man, this one's gonna come straight from the man himself, Dale Carnegie, my boy. But let me turn this this beat down. Let me turn this down for you. So I call a lot of people, and a lot of people don't know me. So I have to call them, with my other business, get on the phone. How do you build trust on the phone? Yes, does anyone know? How do you build trust on the phone when you pick up the phone and talk to them? First of all, you don't just go in and go, rah, 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 rah. You're like a salesperson, okay? Everyone's afraid of the sales gal, okay? Hello, you introduce yourself. Do you have a moment? Can I have a moment of your time? Can you help me out? I have a favor. Could you give me some time? I know you're busy. Could you? That's already building the trust. You're giving them the opportunity to control the thing. You can't take control out for them as well, because just like how you like to be in control, they like to be in control as well, right? And you wait for them to answer. And you listen to them. So that is the number 3 big, is you got to be a great active listener. You want to build trust? The person that could listen the best is the most trustworthy person in the room. Why do I say that? Because that person knows what I want. That person listened to me. That person acknowledged hearing my request. That person understands. Have you ever seen someone and you're supposed to be in business with them and they're on their phone? You're talking to them, they're on their phone. Or just a casual conversation, you're talking to them, you're on the phone. Are you on the phone and someone's talking to you? Look at all these things. You're not building any trust, baby. Because I can't even trust that you're not going to pick up your handheld. You're not going to pick up your device. You're not going to pick up your mobile and scroll. You're not doing anything important, number 1. I'll tell you what. If you flip over anyone's phone that you're talking to and they're on their phone, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're on Snapchat, and they're on Twitter. That's it. if they're or they're on a text message. So that means that you're not important. When you put someone less important than yourself, then there's no reason that they need to trust you. Because as we talk about with rule number 1 is finding out what they want, their desires. Okay? What are their requests? What do they need? How can I help them? What is their problem? Active listening, developing yourself in active listening is the only way to attain that answer. Okay? It's the only way to build that trust. So you need active listening in order to have number 1 be realized. I hope you understand that. Active listening is very important. Active listening, body language, not picking up your phone is very important. Eye contact. These are all forms of active listening. Okay? And it's a skill. So you could go learn it. Anyone could go learn active listening. It's a part of a communication skill. You need this skill. It's fully concentrating on what is being said rather than just passively hearing the message of the speaker. You're really listening. It's hard. I'll tell you, if you're out there right now, I don't even know if you really listen to this. But it's very hard. But that's why it's a skill. It gets easier. So here's some tips with active listening in case you're like, okay, well, Stacy, you gave me a good tool. Okay, you gave me 3 things to build trust, but how do I actively listen? All right, so number 1 is face the speaker. Okay, face who's talking and maintain eye contact. You know how many people can't maintain eye contact? It's like they're so scared because their confidence is low and they're insecure. You could tell a person if you could maintain eye contact with someone, shit. Okay, so understand, and there's some things where, something happened over here, you lose eye contact. But guarantee, if you focus on eye contact and really listen, that's going to be bounds. I'm telling you, it's going to do wonders for you. What about being attentive but relaxed? You don't have to be like, stiff and shit. Okay, you could be relaxed, but be attentive. Listen, eye contact, relax. Give attention. Direct yourself. Pay attention. Remain ready to serve. Okay, so we have to get these distractions out of our head. The background activity, noise, get it out. You're listening to this person. 3, here's the beauty. Okay, not the beast. Here's the beauty. Keep an open mind. Keep an open mind, baby. Because I'm telling you, as soon as you hear something you don't like, and I need to get better at, listen, I know where I need to get better at. But it's always a growth concept here. You can't be a sentence grabber. You know those people always try to speed up, interrupting, finishing my sentences? You can't do it. Listen to the words and try to picture what the speaker is saying. Don't interrupt and don't impose your solutions on them. Because what does that say? It says, I'm more important than you. What I have to say is more interesting, accurate, or relevant. I don't really care what you think. I don't have time for your opinion. This isn't a conversation. It's a contest, and I'm going to win. That's what all those things are saying. Wait for the speaker to pause and ask clarifying questions. This is how we know we're actively listening. Back up a second. Hey, could you help me understand that? I didn't understand that last thing that you said. Oh, what you said about this is very interesting. Could you expand on that? These are all active listening, man. I'm telling you, an active listener builds trust. Ask questions only to ensure your understanding. Try to feel what the speaker is feeling, okay? Give the speaker regular feedback. When that pause is, showing eye contact, the paying attention to what isn't said. There's a lot of things with what isn't said as well. Some people aren't going to go out and tell you everything. So there's the active listening will pick up on what isn't said just as much as what is said. Okay. So that's it. I just wanted to give you all of that. I said it was going to be a fire episode, which means fast. I lied. Okay. I know you don't trust me anymore when I say that. I am Stacy A. Cross. There's no E in my name. TheComfortKillers.com. I got 5 free videos there. How to get outside of your comfort zone ASAP right now within 24 hours. There's some tools and techniques on there. There's things you could actually do. I like giving people things that they could actually do. That's what personal development is. It's a lot of think, it's a lot of assessing, a lot of regenerating and reprogramming in your mind, but there's some things that you can actually do, because I'm telling you, your body is a biophysical, chemical, muscular, bone density. It's a lot of things, and a lot of things move together. Your heart, it's a synchronization of a lot of things together. So if you apply the doing as well as the thinking with the discipline, with this over here, with the, oh man, it's going to be a beautiful thing. You could actually build, and change yourself. I am Stacy A. Cross. There's no E in my name. You can email me directly if you have any questions, Stacy@thecomfortkillers.com. And that's how we're going to do it. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll catch you next Friday. Same time, same place, thecomfortkillers.com. I am. Peace. You've just listened to a episode of the Stacy A. Cross Show. You can subscribe and get more episodes on my website, stacyacross.com, and my company's website, thecomfortkillers.com. As always, you can get me on all my social media at Stacy A. Cross. Go ahead and subscribe, and we will see you next week. I am.